All right, we're live. Okay, so I have not been going live for trading the past 2 days, and as I said yesterday, it's just because I'm just trying to lock in. I don't want to have to talk while I'm trying to trade. I feel like for now, I really want to turn profitable, and I'll get back to live streaming in a I don't know how long, however long, but anyway, you can see the last 2 days have been really nice. To hit a 2-to-1 yesterday and essentially a 1-to-1 today. The reason it's less than 1-to-1 is because I took profit and then I forgot to trail my stop on the other half of the contracts, and all the other half of the contracts got stopped at break even. It would have been a 1.5-to-1. But we're gonna review everything, and eventually I'm gonna get back to streaming live for trading. I might even do it tomorrow. I don't know yet, but man, look at this. $85 away from my first payout. If I can get that account to 52,600, then theoretically I can get a $500 payout. So I'm locked in. I'm locked in as you can be. But let's review today. Let's talk about what happened. Let's review every detail. Let's talk about my bias for the day, how I was wrong about what my bias was, which is yeah, I've been right about the bias for like 5 moves in a row. So this is the first one I was wrong about, and in hindsight, it kind of makes sense. But we're gonna look at it in detail and figure it out. So, with all that in mind, let's go ahead and review price action. So, I'm gonna get chat on my phone, and yeah, we'll look at all kinds of trades you could have taken today. Should be good. So, okay. Um, let's start out with higher time frame analysis. This was something that I wanted to do earlier. Let's go to the Discord, and we'll just start out on the higher time frame. Honestly, I should have. I think I missed doing quite a bit of stuff this morning. Like I wanted to do weekly profiling, all this stuff, and I only got the high time frame analysis, and you can see that this was completely wrong today. In hindsight, we're gonna figure out why it was wrong, and yeah. Now, this is gonna keep buzzing is the thing. So I'm gonna need to figure out if I turn down the volume. Is that stupid? Will you guys not be able to hear me? No, you should be able to hear me still. I just won't be able to hear you guys. Okay. Wait. That does not make sense. Never mind. Ignore me. What are they talking about? Bro. Okay. All right, let's talk about what happened. So, high time frame analysis. Now, as we know, we have this monthly fair value gap. This is something that I've been looking at for quite some time. We keep pushing down into it. To me, that's more orders getting filled over and over again, right? So every time we run stops into the monthly fair value gap, to me, that's more orders getting filled, and we have these relatively equal previous week's highs above. So this seems like the draw on liquidity eventually. I'm just now realizing I should look at this on NQ, not MNQ. So let's get rid of this. Boom, boom. And let's get rid of this. So I knew the higher time frame was going to be bullish. I didn't know for sure today was going to be bullish, and it ended up being bullish today. So we're going to figure out why. But yeah, let's mark out this monthly fair value gap again. Let's drag this over. And then, yeah, you can see we keep digging into the monthly fair value gap over and over and over again. And you'll know what else. We had an SMT right here, right? So where S&P makes a low and then a lower low, and then NASDAQ makes a low and then a higher low, right? So we have this S&T. So that's essentially confirming to us that the draw on liquidity should be higher. It should be probably these previous week's highs. So then let's talk about specifics about what was I gonna say? About why my analysis was wrong, right? We're gonna figure out all the little details, figure out why the analysis I did for the first time in this whole week was wrong. So, we had. So it's important to keep in mind that we had this SMT, and I mean, just also understanding this is a giant range. Now I did see that we had already came and taken out a majority of that range, so I thought like maybe we didn't need to. Maybe we could just go run these lows here, but that did not happen. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I guess we'll just. Yeah, we'll just move on to. We'll do higher time frame analysis. Yeah, I'll just. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. We'll start recording everything right now. So, it's important to note this was a 4 hour for value gap, right? And I think that was one thing that I missed, where I was looking at this 1 hour and I was like, well, we inverse this 1 hour, but it's important to acknowledge higher time frame, right? We still had this 4 hour for value gap that had not inversed. So that was probably the biggest error that I made. And you'll note this is also overlapping with this breaker here. So it's not just a fair value gap, it's a fair value gap and breaker block. I mean, this becomes a lot more clear probably on the lower time frame. Let's see. Oh, check this out. So we have a low, high, lower, low, higher, high. What's this? Fair value gap in discount of the breaker, right? Remember what that is? The Reaper for value gap, right? Check that out. Strikes again. So here's the breaker from the low to the high, the final up move before the larger move down, right? These up close candles. The fair value gap in discount, that's the breaker. I mean, that's the Reaper. And you can see we come back, tap that Reaper at the bottom of this 4 hour for value gap, and that is what sponsors this move higher. That's crazy. Definitely missed that. Yeah, so let's look at the analysis I did and see where I went wrong. So I said we had two bearish SMTs, we inversed this 1 hour gap. But I think the most important thing that I missed is we have a higher time frame 4 hour gap here. So because we have this higher time frame 4 hour gap, the 1 hour inversion is like insignificant, completely insignificant. And once we start to get this 2 hour CRT, I should have had my bias been flipped, right? Because we get this 2 hour CRT delivering from this key level, right? This Reaper for value gap. So you see how we sweep out that low 2 hour CRT. So, man, like in hindsight, it is really obvious that my analysis from before was stupid, because I was looking at the lower time frame. this 1 hour inversion does not matter because this is a 4 hour gap, right? So we're gonna start recording that down. February 5th, 2025. Evening. How should I word this? After getting their market right, I think it was 4 or 5 times in a row. This morning I was completely wrong, but in hindsight, it makes a lot of sense, and my analysis was kind of stupid. The main reason I ignored a higher time frame 4 hour fair value gap. I was looking at a 1 hour inversion when and you can see that right here. 4 hour fair value gap. And we very obviously respect this. I mean, very obvious. So, yeah, that was just analysis paralysis where I get tunnel vision. I'm not looking at the higher time frame. This can happen if here. Trying to think of how to word this. I should have checked the higher time frame for something like this. And then I'll also mark out. I'll show how we had that Reaper for value gap. Right? So this from the low to the high here, that's the breaker from the low to the high. And then this fair value gap and discount, that's the Reaper, right? You drag that over. And let me adjust this just a little bit. That's crazy. So we'll also mark that out. And then also, um, I mean, we get that 2 hour CRT off of it. So that was something else I missed, right? Where you have 2 hour CRT right here. Whoops. Where'd it go? There you go. CRT low, CRT high. And yeah, at this point, once we get the CRT, I should have realized to flip my bias. Unfortunately, I was kind of tired this morning. Honestly I'm honestly just glad I won a trade because low key I was kind of tired and it could have been worse. Like, honestly, I'm glad that I had patience to wait for something light bulb because I'm just glad I didn't do something stupid. I'm now realizing like maybe this is the wrong channel to do this in. That's okay. I'm not. I'll figure it out later. Okay. So, but the main thing is that we have this 4 hour for value gap. A lot of the other stuff might be overcomplicating it, but the main thing is we have a 4 hour for value gap, and clearly it's just respecting this 4 hour for value gap. Like, sure, we had SMT here. Like, if you go on the other screen, you can see that we had an SMT, right? But there are times where higher time frame will override lower time frame SMTs, and I think this was one of those times where sure we had lower time frame SMT, but remember we're going against this SMT. So to be fair, I could have seen this SMT sponsoring a move to go sweep out this, but we ended up holding this 4 hour for value gap, and that's just what happened. So um, yeah, I think the main thing is just looking at this 4 hour for value gap and just seeing it for what it was. We were holding this, so we did get another move back from IRL to ERL, right? From the fair value gap to the external high. So fair value gaps are internal liquidity, and highs and lows are external liquidity. So from the fair value gap to the high. Okay. But yeah, just a simple move from the fair value gap to the external high. Um, yeah, and that's okay. So let's do high time frame analysis like for this afternoon actually. I mean, I know that this is kind of we were kind of already doing this, but like I want to actually do high time frame analysis, figure out like what's gonna happen next, right? So as far as what's gonna happen next, um, we still have those relatively equal highs, and I've been saying this for a while. We have this old previous week's high here. And we have this old previous week's high. So this could be the draw. Now, I wonder if we left any. Let's see if we left any RTH gaps or anything like that. Not really. There's no overnight gaps, so that's not really helpful, honestly. Let's see if we left. Let's see. Yeah, we got SMT here, but we are respecting fair value gaps, right? We're respecting bullish key levels. Order flow is bullish. Everything is saying order flow is bullish. Right? So this for value gap 1. So is it possible it's time for us to go and run the external high? Maybe. We got to do more analysis though. But yeah, holding this for value gap, holding this for value gap. Let's see if we got any other SMTs, right? I mean, let's also check the weekly stat map once again. And I also want to look at the economic calendar. So yeah, we're at the weekly distribution level. That's important to recognize. Like, we have hit the statistical weekly distribution. Whether that'll be relevant, we'll see. So there's the statistical weekly manipulation. You see we went right there. This is crazy. Look how perfectly this worked out this week from one to the other. Let's check the monthly one. Hmm. I mean, we also inverse this fair value gap. Maybe you could say. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just tired right now or what, but I'm trying to make sense of this. All right, with SMT. Oh yeah, I was gonna look at the economic calendar. That's right. So economic calendar. So tomorrow we have unemployment claims. So we will see how that moves the market, and then Friday is NFP. Let's look at new day opening gaps, new week opening gaps. Okay, we have this new day opening gap overlap with this fair value gap. It is possible we need to come retest this. That's something I will say. Hmm. Yeah, for value gap perspective, I mean, the most obvious thing right now is we have another value gap, right? It's almost just like deja vu for the third time. Maybe we have to come retest this. And then we would be retesting this breaker as well. Hmm. I don't know. Do we need to come back? Not necessarily. Oh, I remember what else I was gonna do. So we got previous week's high right here. Let's check if we have any SMT here. No. Hmm. Man, I should look at the lower time frame soon, probably. Etsy, what's up, bro? Right now I'm trying to do higher time frame analysis, but like I'm kind of having brain fart right now. Like, I, I just don't even know what to think right now. I'm trying to make a plan, but I mean this morning I got it completely wrong, and so now my brain's kind of feeling like dead right now. I don't know. I could see this being a drawn liquidity, but I could also see us reversing at any point. So I'm not gonna necessarily tie myself down. Why am I not trading live? Uh, so I've been trading. It's just I didn't trade live the past 2 days, and um, I guess it's just because I wasn't. I didn't feel like it. um, I'll probably live stream tomorrow, but the past 2 days, like I've been just wanting to, I don't know, not have to like talk the whole time. I mean, I guess I technically don't need to talk while I'm live streaming, but I, while I don't know, I just kind of wanted to lock in and just sit there and wait for the best trade possible and not like talk the whole time. I don't know. It was just kind of how I felt the last 2 days, and I don't know if it helped me or what, but the last 2 days I've done really well. I hit a 2-to-1 yesterday and then a 1-to-1 today. So I don't know if that helps me or not. I think I was just, I don't know. I just wanted to really lock in and focus, I guess, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out higher time frame analysis. Right now, I'm honestly kind of undecided. Maybe we should just move on because I don't really know right now with higher time frame analysis. I'm kind of getting my brain's kind of getting a brain fart right now. Like I really don't know. So I think we'll just move on. We'll just move on. I'll probably be able to think better tomorrow morning. But let's look at trades throughout the day. So as I said, we had this 4 hour for value gap. This was really obvious in hindsight, and I was kind of stupid. I overlooked this. Um, but in hindsight, it's kind of hard to miss this. So I don't know what I was thinking. Clearly, we respect this 4 hour for value gap. So within this, you could have framed a move from IRL to ERL, essentially from a fair value gap to an old high. That's what that means. Talk more. It will you be in the charts. Yeah, I would probably it might help me. Um yeah, we had a tough time getting through this 4 hour for value gap. And then so this was Man, in hindsight, it's just so obvious. Like, why did I think we were just gonna break that 4 hour per value gap? I don't know. I really don't know why I thought that, but so we're gonna find. So essentially, you could have framed this uh 4 hour move from the 4 hour per value gap to the 4 hour high, and within this, I'm sure there were plenty of trades you could have taken. So IRL, ERL. Um, First, let's just mark out like look at how we respected this, right? Well, we actually don't respect it. I was gonna say we respect the order block, but back test couple of days and come back. Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, I've been trading. It's just I didn't trade live the past 2 days. Okay, during London, we filled this 4 hour per value gap. Arguably, maybe you could say that was the key level, right? That we pushed into. We filled this 4 hour per value gap during London, or maybe you could say, London pushed into this hourly order block, or maybe you could say, actually, I think there might have been a BPR. Yeah. So I think this is what you could say, right? London pushed into this 4 hour BPR, right? So London pushed into a key level. In hindsight, this was a very obvious London reversal, New York continuation day. I'm honestly just gonna stop calling it like London reversal, New York continuation, and just call it London reversal. So So I guess you could also say it was this hourly order block too, right? But London clearly was pushing into a couple key levels, both. Well, I'm not gonna say the hourly order block's not as obvious as this 4 hour BPR is. So I'm just gonna say, uh, I'm just gonna call it I'm gonna call the key level the 4 hour BPR. That's the most obvious key level, right? So London pushed into this 4-hour BPR. So I'm gonna just mark this out like this. London right here. London pushes into a key level, this 4-hour BPR. And then New York continues, right? I mean, maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Well, what do you guys think? Okay. So today, what do I say? Today was a London reversal today, or today, in my opinion, was a London? Maybe someone else could make some other claim, but I think today was a London reversal. To me, today was a London reversal. There. Yeah, I think that's like a relatively simple view of the reality of what happened, right? London just pushed into this key level, we reversed and expanded in New York. So, very typical daily profile, honestly. And you can see this 4-hour BPR right here is pretty obvious. So within this, there were trades you could have taken. Um, I'm curious, actually. Let's mark out some key levels here. I just want to see how we responded to them, right? So we have like a 2-hour OB. And that's actually a 4-hour OB. I want to see how we responded to this. I'm just curious. Wow. Now that's light bulb right there. Look at how we come and push into it. Oh my gosh, that's actually crazy. So we end up pushing into the 4-hour order block. You can see that right here. And then we continue up. We wick into it like 7 times, and then we continue to expand towards the external high as well as Asia's highs. Let's take a look at the daily stat map. I mean, yeah, this is right to the daily statistical manipulation level, which is pretty cool. Man, this trade was fire. I'm pretty sure everyone caught this. This 3-minute inversion. I was done for the day already, but dude, oh my gosh. This was stupidly good. We're gonna actually just record this right now. This is so good. Oh my gosh. That's nuts. Oh my gosh, that's such a good trade. Wow, if you ever see this, you better take this. Like, I mean, this is one of the most light bulb signatures in price you'll ever see, especially when you're in line with the higher time frame bias. We were anticipating a move from this 4-hour BPR to the external high. If you see something like this inversion here, y'all better full port that. I'm just kidding. Don't full port it. But genuinely, like that's so nice. That's beautiful. Okay, this was the trade of the day by far. Now, this happened at 11:24, so yeah, I wasn't on the charts. I was done already, but theoretically, right? If I was still trading, normally I'm never on the charts at like 11:30, because usually let's say I'm trading and I still haven't gotten a trade by 11. Typically, I'll hop off at 11 and then come back for PM. So I probably would never have seen this one because I'm just not on the charts at this time. But man, this would have been like A++. This was awesome. Right up to that external high. Wow. That was cool, right? And we're in line with this higher time frame order flow, where not only are we delivering from a 4-hour per value gap, we also got sponsorship from this 4-hour order block, and now we're moving up towards this external high. And that inversion was just so light bulb. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to screenshot this. We're going to put it in the folder for today. I haven't made it yet, but that was a trade of the day probably. We should actually go record that as trade of the day. So save documents. Trades. Here we go. So February, a new folder for today. 2/5/25. This was Wednesday. All right, this trade was. I already forgot. I gotta go back now. This was at 11:24. So we're gonna save this. 11:24 IPG 3-minute, and then yeah, we're gonna save it. That's so good. That was the trade of the day. I mean, also just like look at how like clearly this is AMD, right? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. This is the kind of stuff that if you can just wait for this, you're gonna turn profitable, right? Because not only was this like a good trade, like this was a 3-1. I mean, and the external high was the draw on liquidity. So now, obviously, I'd probably take off a bit here, most of it here, honestly. Just at 1-1, but I am saying, like, theoretically, maybe you leave a runner to the external high, right? So, okay. Now, I wonder, did we also, like, backtest any key levels maybe at this point? Because imagine, we were also, we were also delivering from a New Day opening gap. That's absurd. It's kind of mess. Let me turn down this just a bit. See, now this looks so much more obvious. Do you see how obvious this New Day opening gap was? We come push into this New Day opening gap. This is like perfect delivery off this New Day opening gap too. Okay, we're gonna actually have to re-screenshot this. This is stupid. Whoa, this is actually crazy. We deliver from it perfectly, right? Whoever says New Day opening gaps are not useful or good does not understand them. I mean, look at, if you see this happen, we're just delivering from this New Day opening gap perfectly, and then you like get the inversion. It's like that's an amazing confluence. Who wouldn't use that, right? Anyone who says don't use New Day opening gaps really just does not know what they're talking about. At least that's my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt, but yeah, delivering from this New Day opening gap as well. Like, let's just re-screenshot this real quick. That's fire. That's so fire. So, gonna save that. Okay. 11:24 IPG. 3-minute. And replace it. Okay. Now, we could also show the trade that I took. The trade I took was also pretty light bulb in my opinion. Oh, we should probably turn off stat map. I don't know why it's still on. 6 hour, and is that useful? 4 hour. Oh, we should just look at the 4 hour one real quick. And also we'll look at the session one. Wow, that's crazy. Look at the 4 hour manipulation level here. So you wanted to trade this as a 4 hour power of 3, right? The 10 a.m. power of 3. Open, low, high, close, right? This is why stat map is so useful. You see how, like, you can just clearly see, like, the statistical levels for any candle? Like, that's so useful. So, 4 hour manipulation, statistical manipulation level. Dude, that's so sick. And then right to the 4 hour statistical distribution level. So let's see if you could have taken any trades within that, like this 10 a.m. power of 3, because it was obviously a 10 a.m. power of 3, right? Actually, I think this is a pretty fire trade. I'm not gonna lie. If you just took, wait, let's go down the time frame. Let's get rid of this now. So how could you have taken a trade delivering from this 4 hour order block and 4 hour manipulation level, right? That's what we're trying to figure out. Maybe you just take this inversion. Oh, wait, this was news. Oh, Dodgy took this. Oh, yeah, Dodgy took this. Okay, so this was a one setup for live. Once again, I was done for the day, but theoretically, this, I would have possibly taken this if I saw this in live time, because we are delivering from the 4 hour order block. We're delivering from the 4 hour statistical manipulation level, and then we get inversion with a data high, right? So that's a one setup for life. So yeah, I would actually 100% take this, because this is a one setup for life. You have a 1 minute fair value gap, good close above with good momentum, and you have a data high. So you just take this like this, just like this. And since we're delivering from all this as well, like this would have been extremely liable for me. I would have definitely taken this. Just one setup for life, stop loss at the low of the old fair value gaps candle, and then target the data high for a 2.23 to 1. Now, it's possible I moved stop to break even, and then I would have got break evens. I'm just being realistic. I probably would have got break even on that. And that's okay. Yeah. But then theoretically, you could take this inversion, right? So, I don't know. This is one where sometimes with one setups for life, you don't go to break even. I'd probably still go to break even here, but that's okay. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Would you guys go break even here? I feel like I would definitely go break even here. I'm just being realistic. You're all the way up here. I'd go break even like every single time, and then I could stop that at break even. But I mean, you obviously could have taken this one too, and then this one would have been even better RR. It's like the same. We'll record both of them, but I think this first one would have been break even, if I'm being honest, right? And that's okay. So now, I guess theoretically, this is an external gap. So that's something to consider. It's always hard, right? It's always hard to say, like, I don't know, was this. But I think with the data high, it makes it fair. I don't know. What do you guys think about this one? I honestly, now that I think about it, I think you can't take this one actually because of the external gap. Um, that's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this inversion, we have the external gap. I would not take it. That explains a lot actually. Oh my gosh, because Dodgy didn't take this one, but he took this one, and the reason why he didn't take this one, but he took this one, was because this 3 minute external gap was here. But then once we inverse this 3 minute external gap, okay, all right, I'm figuring it out. So we had to inverse this first, and then after we inverse this, now it's fair game to take the lower time frame inversion, right? So now we get this 1 minute inversion. Okay, so this one was the setup that you would have taken right here. This one you wouldn't take because of the 3 minute external gap. Okay, I'm figuring it out. Sorry guys, but I'm learning just as alongside you guys. So I mean, I'm learning a lot every day. I'm still getting better. This would be very, very close to break even, but I do think it would have not been break even. Kind of just depends on your entry, but yeah. I will still screenshot it. That explains a lot now that I'm thinking about it. Why Dodgy did not take this, but he took this. Because there was a 3 minute external gap. I'm pretty sure. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's why. So this was at 10:33. This was a 1 minute inversion. This might have been the trade that AJ took. Let's see if Aji took this trade. I think he did. I think Jan took it too. I think everyone took it. if I'm being honest. I think everyone took that one. Yeah. See, Jan took this one. Yeah, that's fire. Cause I would have probably done the same thing if I'm being honest. Since the data high is so much further away, I'd probably take profit at the end of these bodies here. Just cause I like making money. I don't like to have to shoot for further than I need to. I'd probably do the same thing. Oh my gosh, looks like everyone did this. Everyone took profit here. That's crazy. So AJ took the same exact trade. He did the same thing. He took profit at like the end of these candle bodies. That's crazy. Everyone had the same idea. I would have done that too. I probably would have done that too. I'd probably take profit here. Just because this data wick, there's not as much liquidity here. I'm not I mean there might be like eventually, but in the short term, I just shoot for this, honestly. Dude, that's fire. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's so good. 1.5 to 1 right to TP. I would have taken this one. This is how I would have done it if I were to do it. Right to the end of these candle bodies. Yeah. And the reason I'm not targeting the data high is because just think about it from liquidity standpoint, right? The majority of people bought and sold in this range, not in this data wick. Typically data wicks are good targets, but gotta understand like conceptually what's going on. Most of the stop losses are gonna be right here and not at this data wick. So just target this end of the candle bodies here. That's what I would do. So let's just add this one, a screenshot it as well. Man, yeah, that'd be so good. Oh my gosh. And yeah, now we're understanding why we wouldn't take that because obviously you had that 3 minute external gap. So we're learning a lot here. At least I'm learning a lot. So 10, 33, IPG, 1 minute, number 2. That's how I would have taken the trade personally. Okay, and then what else happened? We get inversion back to the downside after taking the data high. I mean, low key, I don't take trades like that because I don't take trades like against the higher time frame bias. And in this case, I'm expecting us to go to this external high, so I probably wouldn't take that. But maybe you could have taken that. Let's see what other trades Jan took or whoever else took. That was yesterday. Man. What is happening? What is going on? Okay, I'm trying to figure this out. Where else? Did anyone take any other trades? Aji took 3 break evens. They took the same trade. It was the same one. Okay, they all took the same one. So I would have taken that too. And I actually, yeah, I would have definitely. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's hard to say. Like I'm looking at the charts. Obvious, it's hindsight, but I'm almost certain. Like when this inversion happened, I just like locking in profits. I'd probably take most or all off here, if I'm being honest, just because I just like making money. I'm just being realistic what I'd do probably. But yeah, yeah, okay. But that trade was fire. So theoretically, we will mark this out, this inversion to the downside. I don't know if it's that good because Uh, it's kind of against the trend, I think, but you probably just can quickly move your stop to break even. Especially because once you hit this like low here, it's like okay, well stops at break even anyways, and then sure. So I'm gonna record it honestly. I'd probably say since it's against the trend, it'd probably be A minus in my book, and I wouldn't take it. But I think it's personal preference, honestly. Um, if you wanted to take this, you could. I just prefer to trade with the trend, not against it. But maybe with someone else's rules, they like this trade a little bit more, and that's totally fine. I want to put the stop at the wick. It's just a little bit unnecessarily of a big stop loss. I'd rather just do that, and then wow, that'd be two like I'd probably target the end of these bodies here. It'd be 2 to 1. So I'll screenshot this and put it in the um, folder for today. Definitely, this one's a personal preference trade. I probably would not have taken it, but it definitely has good signature within inversion within 3 candles. There's not anything totally wrong with it besides it's just against the higher time frame. That's really it, and I think that's the only reason I would not have taken it. 11, 12. That's crazy. You would have needed to buy. Oh no, it's because this is on the wrong thing. I meant to have this be 200. I gotta remember to switch that back. Risk is 200. Okay. I mean, that'd be a nightmare if I accidentally have the risk on this wrong, because then I accidentally don't risk the right amount. It'd be bad. Yeah, risk is 200 per trade, so. Oh, I still forgot what time this one was. 11, 11, 11. That's nice. And then the 3 minute one was the trade of the day, though, in my book, in line with the higher time frame. There are quite a few good trades you could have taken today. This one definitely iffy because of the 3 minute external gap. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I probably would not take it. Well, it just kind of depends, cause like if you're anticipating the gap to be broken, right, then maybe you could take it. So, I mean, this would be break even for me, probably. I might have taken it, but it would have been a break even for me, and that's fine. And break even's fine. But I'm being realistic. I definitely possibly could have taken this, and I might have had a partial and then break even, and that's fine. Theoretically, you also could have taken this instead of the inversion, right? Let's say you didn't want to take the inversion, you could have taken this as a close above this breaker here. So the series of up close candles. So theoretically, you know we're going to this external high. You enter on the close above the breaker. I think that would have been a fine trade as well. So breaker and enter right here on the close. I'd have to probably put my stop below the gap. So I think you'd only get like 1 to 1 on this. 1.5 to 1. Unless I don't know. It's iffy. Yeah. We'll still record it just in case. So this was a 3 minute. Okay. But yeah, it was really valuable to have this higher time frame bias because then you would have only known to pretty much take longs within here. We should probably look at the trade that I took. I know we probably should have done that a while ago, but we should probably look at that. Maybe you also could have taken, theoretically, we're just looking at all possibilities here. I guess remember how I said we had this 4-hour order block. So maybe, okay, I just want to acknowledge this, that this is a possibility, right? You had that 4-hour order block. This was a possible trade. I'm just going to acknowledge it, right? 4-hour order block, the aligned time frame with the 4-hour order block with a 4-hour key level, I'm pretty sure is the 15-minute. So delivering from a 4-hour order block, we get a 15-minute CISD, right? Yeah. Okay, the flow state model is starting to make a little bit more sense to me, right? I'm gonna make a spreadsheet for aligned timeframes. Yeah, this would have been fire actually. This would have been so fire. Okay, so this would have been the flow state model. So if you don't know what the flow state model is, it's like basically a change of state delivery off of a higher time frame level. So if it's a 4-hour level, 15-minute change of state delivery. If it's a hourly level, 5-minute change of state delivery. And so this is a model that I am including in my trading because I like it makes sense to me. But you basically just you can enter on the close, the change of state delivery close above or the retest. Here the retest would have been pretty fire, and then targeting the external high would have got you 2-1. So I will show this in greater detail, but first I want to just do a little thing for aligned time frames here, just so I can remember all the different aligned time frames. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong. We're going to just write this down. If it's wrong, I'll change it later. I know for sure, I think the hourly is the 5-minute. Okay, flow state model. So this is like the model that I'm pretty sure it's the model that like all the good traders use, like Justin Weiland and I think Johnny uses it. But it's basically the CISD model, I'm pretty sure. So you basically take a higher time frame key level, enter on CISD closure or retest off of it. Target draw on liquidity. Okay, so we're gonna go over aligned time frames now. So I believe for a 1-hour PD array, you would use a 5-minute CISD close or retest. For a 4-hour PD array, pretty sure you use a 15-minute CISD close or retest. I think I could be wrong. I'm just gonna write I think I could be wrong here. And honestly, I'm not gonna do the other ones because those are the only two I'm probably gonna be trading. So yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you can see here, we have a 15-minute change of state delivery, or this is the formation of this as an order block, and we were delivering from a higher time frame key level. This was this 4-hour order block. This was also at the 4-hour statistical level here, the 4-hour statistical manipulation level, which was a nice confluence for the trade. And I mean, look at how little of drawdown we have actually, which is actually absurd. So there's your 4-hour statistical bullish manipulation level. And then we go ahead and we react off of that. We react off the order block. 15-minute change of state delivery. You can enter on this closure, right? You're just gonna have not as good RR, and that's fine. But you could enter on that closure. But if you enter on the retest, you get better RR here. Up to your external draw and liquidity. Yeah. So I'm just gonna record this as a. And then for the flow state model, I'm gonna do the higher time frame PD rate and the line time frame for the lower time. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do flow state. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna save it as flow state. So this was, oh, shoot, what time frame was this? 11:15. Okay. So save as 11:15 flow state four-hour PD 4-hour, and then so yeah, 4-hour PD array. So yeah, 4-hour PD array, 15-minute CISD. Fire. Not valid. Okay. That one was a good trade. Very similarly, you could have done this maybe as a flow state, like using this 4-hour BPR. Maybe, oh man, now I'm looking at it. Yeah, theoretically. Okay, flow state's starting to become a little bit more of a flow state to me, right? So we're delivering from a 4-hour BPR. We get a change of state delivery. Okay, this is fire actually. Guys, flow state model's kind of cracked. And you can see, luckily, we don't even get break even, which is very lucky. So yeah, I would get the entry right here, stop at the low, and then I would still target this external high. Man, that's so fire. Oh my gosh. The flow state model, bro. Okay. So delivering from a 4-hour key level, this key level being a 4-hour BPR, and then 15-minute change state delivery to the external high. So this was at 8 o'clock. Been early in the morning. So let's save this. Um, 8 o'clock flow state 4 hour. Yeah. And then same thing right here, right? We get another close above a breaker, or whatever you want to call it. Change state delivery. I mean, who cares? It doesn't really matter. And then we retest it here. Now this one would not have been good RR, but maybe you could have taken it if you wanted to, right? I don't know. So I will still record it. 1.4 to 1. You definitely could have gone break even right within here. So I don't see anything totally wrong with it. I'll record it, but yeah. So I'm gonna save this here. What time frame was it on? I have to go back now and look at it again. 10 o'clock. This one was 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock flow state 4-hour PD array 50-minute CSD. Yeah. Okay. Man, a lot of different trades. Oh, we still haven't even covered the trade that I took. We still haven't even covered it. All right, we should go look at that. Man, there's so many opportunities, right? Imagine you took this inversion all the way up to the external high. Oh my gosh, we just left equal lows this whole time? That's nuts. Okay. The trade I took was very simple. It was like, yeah, accumulation, manipulation, inversion, so IPG, and then there we go. The rest was history, right? It went and hit TP like instantly. Very good signature to this. Yeah, I like this. This was good. Now I did try and target Asia high, didn't hit, but yeah, whatever. So this was the trade I actually did take, and you can see Asia's high was also a draw on liquidity. We did not get to it. It's kind of annoying, and I should have trailed my stop. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't on the rest of the position, so that was a lesson for the future to trail my stop, and that's fine, right? It's a lesson. A lesson makes you better for the future. It's not a loss. Okay, so yeah, I did try and target Asia high. I should have trailed stop. That's the main lesson, honestly. And then, yeah, we swept out this low here. So yeah, this was the trade I took. I'll put this in my journal. This was a, what was it? 30-second inversion. I really liked this trade. A/A plus to me. Good liquidity above. I left a half of the cons to go to Asia's highs, but forgot to trill my stop, and the rest got stopped at break even. Lesson learned for next time. I should have trilled my stop on the other half. I just wasn't thinking. Oh well. Okay. Yeah, this was fire. It was quick break even too. Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and then I'll come back and keep grinding. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Man, okay. There's still more to review. Like, I don't know how long I've been backtesting for, but like, man, there's still more to go. I'm not done. I'm not done. I want to look at more. There's more to look at. I mean, this was also an inversion, but I would not take that because external gap right here doesn't make sense personally. Man, I wonder, was there a trade to go run all this? Because this is really good liquidity right here, right? So maybe within here there was some kind of inversion. There actually might have been. So let's see. Yeah, it's not an inversion though. That's the thing. So yeah, I don't think there was anything there. Hmm. What else is there to review? Um. I'm gonna mark this 1 hour order block. I'm curious if we came and tested it or not. Ah, not super obviously. Um, yeah, I'm not really sure what else to review. I mean, we covered most everything, I think. Maybe you take this, right? Maybe you take okay, yeah. This is something you could have taken, right? We have a delivering from this 4 hour order block, remember that. Now obviously you could have taken the line time frame would have been the 15-minute, but let's say you took this as a close above a breaker trade, maybe, right? So on one hand, we have a close above a breaker, and then we also have an IPG. Up to Asia's high, this would be a 1.3 to 1. And the rest, I think, would get stopped out at break even. But just marking this out, like maybe you would take this. I don't know though. I'm not like. It's not like super light bulb to me, but maybe. I mean, this you could take it like this. That would not be very good RR. If you ever have a trade where it's like this, and it's not good RR, like just don't take it. um, like if it like sometimes you literally just don't take trades, even if they might work out. You literally just don't take them because the RR is just so bad. So this would be a weird one because this isn't even like one of my four options really. Like, cause it's like it's not a breaker and a fair value gap, but it's also not entering on the close above a breaker. It's just entering on the retest of a breaker. I mean, I don't know. It just depends on the context. I think we're delivering for 4 hour order blocks, so maybe you could take this. I'm not gonna. I'm not even gonna record it. It's fine. Oh, I'm curious if we had SMT 9:30, 10:03. Actually, I will record it. So we got lower low. Both of them are lower low. Okay, I'll record it. Fine, I'll record it. But I'll say just like I need a different notation now. For just retest of breaker. Um. So I'm doing the notation for close above breaker is BRK. I should do BRK close and then I don't even know. What time is this at? 10:30? Breaker. I'll do breaker and no for value gap. Or no, I'll just do breaker. $10.30. Yeah. Well, I forgot what was the time frame. 3 minute. So I'll have breaker retest. So that means like no fair value gap. There's no fair value gap here, but it was in my opinion it was still possibly a high probability trade because in line with order flow delivering from a 4 hour order block. So 10:30. So there's flow state model, IPG. So I'll do BRK. So yeah, BRK retest is like when it comes back and retest the breaker close, and when it closes above a breaker. And then if I say BRK plus fair value gap, it's a breaker and a fair value gap. Okay. I don't know if I should allow myself to take trades like that, but I don't know. Probably not for now, but maybe in the future. Low key, I think I might just call it for today. I think we covered most everything that happened today. So, um, yeah. So you could enter on a breaker, close above a breaker, or retest of a breaker, and a fair value gap. I might need to fix my notation for this because it's kind of getting confusing. Um, yeah, I think I'm just gonna be done for now. All right, I will see you guys later. I'm gonna keep getting better. Yeah, that's why I journal. Just I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm still trying to get better, but I'm just fixing things little by little and trying to improve every day. So